So I'm doing all the dirty work. What are you doing?
But going on holiday.
See, exactly. So then that's it. Now, सैफ वो क्या एक चीज़ है जो लोगों को marriage में हमेशा करनी चाहिए? Like, to keep the spark alive.
Role play.
Okay,
I'm joking.
Actually, our show is, we've spoken about every possible topic on the show, so I guess it's fine.
If you have slightly different things to do also, if there's a little bit of freshness when you meet at the end of a day, or after a couple of days, if you have some new ideas to swap. So I think repetition and a mundane kind of existence is what is a bit worrying for everybody, because any long-term relationship can get a bit repetitive. I'm saying it's really
space.
So it's not space as much as different interests. Also, I think you should not be too pressured about keeping the spark alive. And it's a really scary thing.
Yeah.
You have to keep the spark alive.
Yeah. Then there's like too much pressure.
Like Woody Allen said, he said, I can't keep up the same level of charm for 10 years, I'll have a heart attack.
Yeah.
So sometimes, it's okay. You've got to find ways to keep your own spark alive.
But like you always say that you keep saying that we should go out for dinner and then like come
of course,
home
there's
and
basic
I'm like really
things.
tired
Yeah.
and I'm like, no, okay.
I mean,
so, a little bit of an effort.
Laziness is a villain generally in life, if you can, and people say love also is a verb. It's something that, has to be shown and practiced. Like if you don't feel like it and you go and pick someone up from the airport once in a while, it just makes things
so then
a
you
little
should
nicer.
do that as well.
Yeah, I know.
So
that's why
clearly you're not keeping
don't get me on the show.
You're not coming to pick
I'll
up
be
the
exposed.
It's been 11 years. You haven't bothered.
I picked you up once because your mother called and said that there's trouble in London or something.
But that was like, I think that was also 10 years ago.
It wasn't that long ago. It was about 3 years ago.
No, I don't think so.
People have compared marriage to like a base camp, and if you want to climb mountains, you need a good base camp before you can climb a mountain. But if you spend all your time climbing mountains, there'll be no base camp left.
But
so
that's an amazing thing.
If you can balance those things, that's the way to do it.
And I think you do that.
I think we both do that, and it's important.
Everyone learns from their parents' marriage, Saif. What have you learned from Amma and Abba's marriage?
Well, the fact that you can be really different in your interests and career choices and passions, and at the same time have a really healthy relationship about and be together and be, committed to each other and absorb each other's kind of lives. I don't know how much he absorbed about films, but he was very happy to support her. And we never really talked too much about cricket at the dining table. We didn't talk about films too much. We talked about the real world, and normal friends would come over and they would talk about things that were happening and just normal kind of conversation. So I think the main thing I learned is to respect your partner's life without trying to take it over, and also how they found interests that they shared. Look, it's about respecting each other, and there are no such things as gender roles. Like you did this film Key and Car, it's fine. As long as the house is running and it's running decently, well, and kids are being nourished in a loving environment, doesn't matter who does what or how it's done.
So many marriages have gender-defined roles, Saifu. How important is it to define roles in a marriage?
Well, I guess it ends up happening, ideally. I know lots of people are very happy living by themselves, but people who have chosen to share life with a partner, you tend to find roles. People say you marry somebody who you can't be, so the next closest thing to having that in your life is to marry it. So I think roles are kind of defined somehow. You find that, at least in our case, you find that there's certain things that, you're so much better organized at doing, and there's certain things that, maybe I could add some value to. So it works out like that.
Yeah, of course, where you're completely disorganized and no form of time management whatsoever, but that's fine. We'll get on to the next question. Otherwise, we'll be just talking about what we can do.
We're asking for some wine soon.
So, और जब बात responsibility sharing की आती है, तो I think the audience would like to know कि क्या हमारे marriage में कोई roles defined है? So why don't you start and then I can pitch in?
I guess so. I'm thinking of holidays for a start. The kind of planning and the ticketing and the
so I'm in charge of travel.
Travel and
you're in charge
travel
of chilling.
and administration.
So I'm doing all the dirty work. What are you doing?
Going on holiday.
See, exactly. So then that's it. Okay. I don't think there are any roles defined. I think if I may say. I
Yeah.
think. Because I think sometimes when I'm working, you're at home with
Yes,
Taimur, and
absolutely.
when like you're working, when you did Lal Kaptan, if I may say, I think that was a patch where you were away for a long time.
Yes.
So you can, you know, talk about that.
Yeah, absolutely. Sharing responsibilities, but also, I think, I remember Rani Mukherjee told me once when we just started dating, you and I, because I don't think I'd ever been out with a working actress before, you know, in that sense.
Yeah.
So she said, just behave like you're in a relationship with a man. So I know what she meant. She meant that don't get into the gender of it. Treat it with like
that's, I
an
think, a
equal. Like
very cool
if
thing
you've
to
got two
say.
heroes in the house, two people working and two people, and then you'll have no problems. And I think she's absolutely right.
Yeah.
So generally, you're a bit more organized. Your time management's amazing.
Time management.
So I really respect that. So always leave it to you.
Okay, so great. So now everyone knows that it's all me.
Yeah.
And all my management skills, right?
Yes,